All right, everybody. I hope you've liked the stream. Hopefully it's something that's popped up because we've got some great bonus coverage here. A little surprise. I did mention early in the broadcast that there's those third place kind of wild card positions to get into the knockout round. Well, we had a tie at the end of all the round robin matches. Marissa Dew, the 13-year-old, and our friend from Fort Worth, Texas, Mary Avina, have tied identically in the standings in their third place spots. So we are going to have a one-frame playoff to see who's going to move into the knockout round to increase their chances of winning some money, increase their chances of raising the trophy tomorrow night for the World Women's Snooker U.S. Open. So Dave Daly is getting everything ready to go, and we'll be shortened momentarily. Hopefully you're still there on the stream, but definitely tell all your friends. As we thought we were wrapping it up for the night, but a little surprise here. That's what this game of snooker brings. It always brings some surprises here and there. So Marissa and Mary coming up shortly. And referee Daly is just summing the players. He's already done the coin toss, and Marissa has won and is elected to break off. So David Burney is here with you in the booth, and here we go. It's definitely a nice little break off here. This one's a little tough to call, you know. Both players have their strengths and their weaknesses. One thing I'd have to say is Marissa is local, so she might just have the advantage, as this is her home club. She's actually sponsored by Ox, so she plays on these tables religiously. Thought she might. No, it's a tricky red, obviously. That's out in the open to the left. So electing to just glance off the reds and come back into bulk.
And before Marissa started playing snooker here at Ox, she would watch a lot of snooker with her dad E. Not daddy, dad E. And she knows the rules. She's kind of like the young kids over in the UK, knowing the rules before even playing the game. Rules and strategy. She's a good cueist because she plays pool very well. And yeah, so she, I think, has a slight advantage with the home court and the snooker mentality.
Yeah, whereas Mary definitely has been playing a lot of pool. That's how she makes her bread and butter down there in Fort Worth. Does a lot of pool tournaments, exhibitions, and teaching and all that stuff. So you kind of notice a little bit with Mary. Yeah, she has a bit more of a power shot, whereas Marissa might know a bit more of the finesse that you need for the game of snooker. But very tricky to judge here because it has been quite a long day. And, fatigue could sneak in definitely to either one of these players.
I'm feeling for Dave right now. He has been out there on his feet all day. So cheers to you, Dave.
Agreed. That's Dave Daly, our roving referee. Hopefully, as the game continues to grow more and more, we'll get more great help behind the scenes. Because, he's just been monitoring all the tables all weekend long. At least now his focus can be just on one table, won't get drawn away. Because I think we did make a point of this tournament that sometimes the referee can clarify a few rules that might be a bit mysterious to some of their players. Because it is still new here in America. Not everybody knows everything, so he tries to explain some of the rules without giving an advantage, shall we say. Well, she's left a few reds, that's for sure. I think stunning that red into the left middle pocket. And does that yellow go past that red? Let's see in the middle pocket, or maybe she'll play for the blue. Playing for the blue and does that famously. Hopefully you've come back into the stream, everybody, and feel free to let us know where you're tuning in from. If you have any comments or questions, we're all ears. It's David Burney and Mike Dominguez in the booth, here with you with this bonus match. Actually, we didn't see this was coming, so if people have come back in, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely a bonus. Race to 1. This is the way to do it. No shootout here.
Yeah, I think it's at the beginning there's going to be a little like a heavyweight match, a little jabs back and forth. But we'll see if one player can pull away with a few combinations and knockout punch.
Oh, almost a really nice combo. And I say combo because Mary is a great pool player.
And I'll say plant because I'm Canadian.
That is the proper terminology. Plant.
True, there's one thing I think.
Do you know why they call it a plant?
Ooh. Audience. I don't know. Like, a plant is something that grows out of soil.
You can pot a plant.
Yeah. But
you can pot a single ball.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a plant. Plant one into the other? I don't know.
Yeah, because like a double makes sense. You're hitting a cushion and coming back and going in, and a treble with two cushions hit. So, however, a flick and a kiss, sometimes a flick can be a kiss, and sometimes a kiss can be a flick. So maybe we'll have to do some research tonight.
Anybody in the chat know the answer to why a plant is a plant?
Isn't that like a esoterical question or something like that?
Yes.
Why is a plant a plant?
Slow down white ball for the blue.
I think she might still have it. She's got her choice here.
Oh,
Got the angle on the blue definitely to come down in the business end.
Oh, little thin.
Yeah, it might just be a little bit of fatigue, maybe a little pressure. This is a do or die. This is you're punching your card into the knockout round, and that increases your wallet because you're going to take some money home if you go into the knockout round.
Yeah, absolutely. I think $250 are in this. And it's a bonus to these two. It's a bonus match. They weren't planning on this one. Look at this. That's a gutsy shot.
Yeah, and Mary's actually matched recently with Corinne. Really went down to the wire, actually. She won it on the pink, so... So I was talking to Dave Daly, seemed like there were some shots in the second frame that Corinne should have made to clean up that match early, but unfortunately did not. So Mary might have a bit more adrenaline, a bit more confidence. But Marissa took out Stephanie, and that's no easy task. Stephanie Drakulik, a top-notch pool player, and definitely a good shot in this game of snooker up here.
Yeah, both frames did go the distance, and so she could be feeling the fatigue, missing those last two blue balls. Oh, and she did leave herself if she had potted the blue for that one red Mary just made. Mary's in between shots here. She could have held up for the yellow, maybe the blue or the black, and now she's kind of in no man's land.
Interesting how you see the pool players, they kind of hold their cue perpendicular and then chalk that way, whereas a snooker player will put the butt of the cue on the table and chalk it that way.
What a shot.
Holy. She's been a force with these long pots.
And again, what color is she on?
Yeah, it's a funny little table, actually, Real color on, but no real color to hide behind.
What a cut. Oh no, cue ball, what are you doing?
Oh.
Cursed by the blue ball 3 times. She's got to feel good about that shot, though.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the white ball didn't do its job. Mary has a quick pace at the table, and I know that Marissa is she's a more determined, I guess, deliberate player. And I wonder if Marissa feels the urge to speed her game up watching Mary play fast.
I think sometimes you just got to play your game. Little experience. Sometimes I've played a quicker player, and you just got to play how you play. Don't play to them, play to you. And sometimes that might mean just walk around the table, just that extra lap, just to settle the nerves.
Like Supertramp says, take the long way home. Just walk around the table, not the shortest distance to the cue ball. Walk around the long way. Take a good look.
Well, Mary has come out strong with the 21-9 advantage in this one-frame playoff.
Got about 3 reds on the cushion, the pinks on the cushion. It's a tough table. Tough table to catch up.
True. Yeah, 3 balls on the cushion. A 4th just off the cushion, so only really kind of 1 ball right now that's advantageous to pocket. It's the one that they're on.
Trying to get one of those reds off the cushion.
Yeah, I don't know where you got it here. Maybe the yellow, but you got to watch out about Kenny into that brown. But
It's touch.
pace on that shot, she just didn't want to roll it there. Probably would have rattled in the jaws and just sat there for an easy sitter for Marissa.
Yeah, Marina. It's a combination of Mary and Marissa. Mary knows her way around the snooker table as well. As she said in that NPR radio interview, she grew up playing snooker, so she understands these pockets are tough. And she knows how to miss.
But in this kind of pressure, anything's missable. A one-frame playoff. Does this red go past the yellow? I don't think so. I was having a good long look. Yeah, I think if it went past, she'd be jumping down at it. Maybe it does. Maybe she's gonna... Oh. Clever. Trying to get behind that brown. I like her style. Mary does go for this red into the top left corner pocket. She's a little hampered, obviously, by the brown. That's a nice shot there.
Great shot.
Always tough going over a wall. Curing, that is. Sargon, thank you. Great stream. Much appreciated. Great job. Thank you for your wonderful comments. Have any questions or comments? Feel free to come in as well. Let us know where you're tuning in. Snooker is a global sport, so we want to hear where everybody's tuning in from.
This table is screaming safety, but Mary is looking for the shot.
I think that's the tough part you might see a little bit with the pool player.
Get in.
That's a nice shot, but they might get a little frustrated and not know that sometimes you have to have a little bit of patience in this game. You got to wait for that chance to happen, because a pool player might try and force that issue to happen sooner, and that could spell disastrous for them.
You know, Mary could hit single reds all day and be just fine. You're taking points off the table that Marissa would love to have with each red she pots. It's a strategy game, tactical game. It's not always high breaks.
No, you got to, keep that brain working. You got to be able to switch on from offense to defense in a blink of an eye.
Speaking of which,
this might not be too bad. Is she snookered here? Oh. I think, referee Daly is taking a look at it, so Uh-oh. That's really costly.
Black ball looks good.
So,
Towards the top.
some interesting innovation here by Mike Dominguez in the booth. You might be hearing him talking a little bit in the background, just discussing with Dave Daly, our referee. But with our stream, Mike has ingeniously put the cursor right where the cue ball is. Smart thinking on his toes here. He's not just the owner of Ox, he's quick on his feet. So strong work there, but the 7-point foul for Marissa there, she's right back in it. So this is the third attempt. And referee Daly will check in with both players, going back to that great etiquette of the game. He'll ask Mary, he'll ask Marissa, does this look like a good spot for you? Both players agree, we'll play on. So,
The rules clearly state that the players should be involved in respotting these. It's not only the ref's job.
It's interesting. I had a good chat with Olivier Martil, great referee over in Sheffield, and asked him one question. I'm like, with all this technology of being able to put the ball exactly back, why do you even ask the players? And he was mentioning that, well, at some tournaments we still have the archaic system. It's a little old. They don't have the technology. But then as well, he also said, it's kind of just force of habit. You were learned to ask the player, do you agree? Do you agree? And carry on. So old type of style.
The camera angle is only the camera angle. The player gets down on the shot and they know where to hit the ball, where the ball is going to hit on the cushion, what ball they have on site. So it's always good to get the players' input when putting the ball back. And the players should give their honest input, not just say, nope, that's not right. They should tell them why that's not right. A little bit left, a little bit right.
I think that's what's really great about this game is there is that pride of honesty. I remember maybe back in, I think about 2016 in Montreal at the Electrical Cup that year, the great Charlie Brown was playing in the tournament and he was playing a match and we're all watching it. And then all of a sudden he got up and sat back down on his table and called a foul. We're all dumbfounded in the room, not realizing that just a piece of his shirt caught a non-object ball, but that's a foul obviously in the tournament because you can't have anything touch any other ball except for the Q-tip to the cue ball. So snooker's a great game that we pride ourselves on honesty and fair play.
Yeah, it's also extremely difficult, and I know that I wouldn't be able to take a win knowing in the back of my head that there was a shot that I fouled on and didn't call it. I mean, it's just a tough sport. So yeah, that snooker etiquette is great to see, and you do see it in pool as well. Pool players do call fouls on themselves more and more these days.
Yes, I was playing at our club championship up in Vancouver, and Jen, I had a free ball, and I nominated the brown ball and came around. And actually, the result of the shot is that I snookered him on the brown ball. So that is actually a penalty right there. That's a foul. but my opponent just got down to the table so quickly and took a shot that I wasn't able to call the fouls. But after the match, or at the frame, I did tell him, hey, you know, that is an actual foul. He's like, oh, I did not know that, because he was new to the game, but glad that he knows it now, because I definitely would have felt quite awful if I came back and won that frame.
Yeah, it looks like an unfortunate miscue there by Marissa. Didn't hurt her too much. She could play safe here. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler is a member here at Ox, watching on the stream. He is one of the OG members, as it were. One of the first members over at Bays.
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 The Battle Border, February 29th, 2020.
The biggest thing to happen that year was Leap Day. And then March 1st happened.
Well, that was kind of all right. It was more around, I think, March 13th, but really the wheels started spinning. But you know what? I think it's been a little bit fortunate for the game of snooker, because a lot of people have gotten into the game during the pandemic.
It was pretty much the only sport on.
That was the sport on.
Oh no,
Marissa, is that just fatigue?
That's got to be fatigue. A rest should have been used there. That's a 7-pointer.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, talking to Mary Talbot, who's in the tournament, she had a 20-year absence, but during the pandemic, she picked up the cue again and just fell back in love with it. And she's a phenomenal player too. You can tell that she had a history of it. So when you learn this game young, you pick up the old habits pretty quick. That black hasn't come to save Marissa, so be just a thin snick on this red on our table up into bulk. Just got on the wrong side of the yellow there. It's going to be a Marissa do special here. It's a long pot, that's for sure. But it's close to the cushion, and Marissa has knocked a lot of these in during this tournament. It's not the worst shot she's played. As much as that green is not hampering Mary, it's just kind of in her eye line, so it's a little bit of a pain. I'm just kind of looking at the plant shot here. Very long plant.
These small balls are really difficult to have a long plant like that. It's a difficult shot. She did get away with it, unless Marissa can cut this.
Oh, great effort there. That was very tricky, and she might have got a good result there, as that black could be covering the path of the close red. She does have that red by the blue.
Does it go? Let's take a look. It does. Look at that, wide open to the yellow pocket. But where's the cue ball?
Wow, great
What a
shot.
pot. She has the pink.
Carnage Falcon, thanks for tuning in. You have some emojis there that I'm not too familiar with.
Just tap it in. Nice. A little bit far. She went a little bit too far there.
But as we see Mike a lot of time in these tournaments, more often than not, these matches go down to the colors.
Yeah.
Get them to the Greek. I'm pretty sure when I play, just get me to the colors. Give me a chance in the colors.
Yeah. That's the time to put your grown-up pants on. Oh, good effort. A little bit too full on that. What kind of... She needs the redwoods here, don't you think?
I would think so. I should copyright that. I feel like I'm the only one that uses redwoods. Are you taking my material?
Until you copyright it.
I don't think they've copyrighted where the cue ball's going, but who knows? Everyone knows that would be stealing.
Where's that one ball going? That one that's moving. Where is it going?
Maybe we should ask John Virgo when we saw him in at Sheffield. I know you have patent. Where's the cue ball going? But how about where's the one ball going? Or that would be a red, actually.
Yeah, that would be a red.
True.
Yeah.
So what do we call the white ball then? The zero ball? Interesting to see that Mary, who's a very accomplished pool player, has all the accessories to make her cue a little bit longer. You see that a lot more often now than you used to see. Most people that have all the mini butts and telescopic extensions.
Well, being from Canada, there was an extension incident between a Canadian player and a Northern Irish player. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, well, I remember it like yesterday because I watched the YouTube clip. Yeah, very...
Was it the green ball?
Unfortunate incident, yes. Cliff Thorburn, great Canadian player, 1980 world champion, was playing Alex Higgins, 1982 and 1972 world champion. They're having a match. And Cliff was a little bit in trouble, so he's just going to hit off the green and save him to bulk. So he says green, and then plays the shot, and then foul, 7 points. The referee awards Alex Higgins. And Cliff was just appalled by that. And even members of the audience did hear, and it all worked out. Cliff had to take a little break from the table, and when he came back, because you would hope that Alex would have good sportsmanship, that Alex could hear it. If people in the first two rows of the audience are hearing him nominate a green ball, how is his opponent not hearing it? And how is the referee not hearing it? So as a result of it, Cliff had brought over an extension from Canada and just said, all right, Alex, this is how it's going to be, but you can't borrow that, or you can't use that, I think was his exact quote. So, yes, then Lawrence Alex Higgins, the Hurricane. By today's standards, he had terrible cue action, but somehow he made it work. He was definitely frantic down on the shot, but somehow, through all his twitching and glitching, he was able to find that cue to go right through the cue ball. So.
He had talent juice, really. I guess it's all the last contact of the cue ball, no matter how unsteady you are. For him.
True. He did actually. Obviously, I think we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. He really revolutionized the sport, as I think it was, highly defensive, a lot of just pushing balls around. But Alex definitely brought a flair to it, made some marvelous shots.
Like that. That's a pretty good shot right there.
True that, but...
yeah, Alex was crazy. Crazy.
Crazy on the table and crazy off the table. I don't think he was quite a well-liked individual. Sometimes, I guess you love him or hate him, maybe.
I think if you haven't met him, you love him. It's the stories that I'm hearing.
Ooh, Mary.
That would have done some damage right there.
True. I would have put a 26-point lead for her with 27 on. So. So as we said, it's come down to the colors. Marissa's a little back up against it, but does she have this? No, she doesn't have the snooker here, and I think Mary's got the angle to get by the brown for the potting angle for the green.
Might need a little swerve, just a bit. Nope. Got it.
Oh, 21 in it and 22 on the table. Oh, that was her free ball.
That went in. I wish we had replay.
True.
His pockets are brutal.
The snooker god said, "You're a pool player. This is a game of snooker. Get out of my pocket." That is really unfortunate. Can Marissa turn it around? Because if she runs out, that would be heartbreaking for Mary. That would be a long, long flight back to Fort Worth.
Get over. She sees the angle, I think.
I think she does. That's a long pot.
I guess that's lucky for her.
I think on the angle, she won't have the in-off. Thanks, Zen, for keeping up the good work. We appreciate it. We appreciate you tuning in from.
Is it safe?
Now, you might know that Mike owns this club, Ox, and Marissa is sponsored by Ox, so you might hear a little bias in his voice over there.
But I'm from Texas, so there's something there. Mary is Fort Worthtonian. What do you call that? She lives in Fort Worth.
Fort Worthen?
Fort Worthian.
Possibly, although originally from California.
Yeah, that's true. But it's where you are now that matters. Seattle. I'm a Seattleite.
Yes, the Emerald City is a great place to be, and we're pleased to be down here for this tournament. A real trailblazer here, first ranking snooker event in the United States of America. You know, in 50 years from now, Mike Dominguez's name will be mentioned. Let's come off the cushion for a chance for Mary.
Yeah, this looks like something Mary can definitely handle. Just taking a long look at it. And she did take the long way around the table, giving herself some time. It's a big shot. She returns the favor.
Yeah, I don't think that's straight on. I think there's a little bit of an angle. That's going to help Marissa. You know, those straight on shots are always tough from distance.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, a little tit for tat here.
Yeah, this is getting intense. Is it in?
Oh. That's always tough. Tough to lose it on a fluke. Marissa, hold your head up high, though. It's one thing to lose about good shot making, one thing to be lost to a fluke. But 22 in it. 2 snookers for Marissa. It is possible.
That black needs to get closer to the cushion. It's kind of, might as well be in the middle of the table where it is now.
Yeah, Marissa just needs to hone in on that snooker mind that she's been training. Looks potable on our screens, but looking at the actual table, that is a thin cut. And these are tough side pockets. Here's to punch your card into the knockout round. It's there. Wow.
$250 shot.
It's a little tough to swallow, obviously, when you lost it on a fluke. But
flukes are part of the game.
They do.
Yeah, it's just the way it is.
Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But handshakes are there. A round of applause. Mary is moving on. Unfortunately, Marissa is going to go into the Challenge Cup side. But she's only 13, and I think she'll definitely be back. So mark your calendars, mark your memory banks. Remember the name, Marissa Dew. She will be coming back for sure. And we'll be coming back tomorrow at 3 p.m., we promise now there will be no bonus coverage tonight. This was a nice little surprise. Hopefully all of you enjoyed it. But this is David Burney signing off for tonight. Thanks, Mike Dominguez, for joining me in the booth. And we'll see you all tomorrow for Championship Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, live from Ox Billiards in Seattle, Washington, for the World Women's U.S. Open. The very first one. History will be made. Come and join us tomorrow. Good night, everybody.